The movie I chose to watch was The Postman Always Rings Twice, but before that I'd like to do a little bit of a review on How to Read a Movie, the article by Ebert. I thought it was interesting how people from so many different backgrounds would show up to his class to talk about the movies and share their knowledge. It sounds like an incredible experience and opportunity, and I'd actually think I would like to do that someday. The concept that stuck out to me the most was the golden mean and ratio and the effect of the positioning of the characters on the screen. How somebody on the right can be good and bring about positivity versus somebody on the left tends to emit negativity was just really interesting to think about. Ebert's beliefs on camera angles and lighting and placement all seem to reflect with my memories of shows and the feelings I've had when these instances occurred. I also really like how he gave an example of this in the movie Notorious, using the movement of the character Grant from the front right to the back left, his position changing as his emotions changed, which in turn changed our emotions towards him. Also, I watched 4 of the videos about filmmaking. I watched the top 20 cinematic techniques, camera angles and techniques, Star Wars continuity mistakes, and Tarantino from below. In the top 20 cinematic techniques, the first one I really felt that I was grasping was the pan from the movies Cowboys and Aliens, where it was just an empty, desolate desert. The panning is moving all around, showing how deserted it is, and then up pops Daniel Craig, breathing heavily, who just so happens to be on the right, the positive side of the screen. In Limitless, the limitless zone technique is ridiculous. The continuous forward zoom makes it seem like time is passing quickly as you move forward, but that forward motion is not going to stop. It's limitless. In camera angles and techniques, this video is both cool and pretty fun. The cool part was the Zolly technique that, by moving in and zooming out simultaneously, made the object look like it was floating. The funny part of this video was when they were being lazy to record people climbing. Here they used different angles and cutoffs to make it seem like someone was scaling a wall or rock when they actually weren't. In the Star Wars continuity mistakes, some of the mistakes were pretty funny but not too bad. My favorite of these mistakes was the one where the dead rebel protected his face, although I do appreciate all the mistakes where things disappear or magically reappear or are moved in any way. And finally, in Tarantino's From Below, I really liked this video because it shows how Tarantino continuously uses the below the character angle throughout his films. Ebert described this angle as making the characters seem like gods. He, of course, says tens and not absolutely, but in these, they don't look like gods. Most of them are just perspective, showing the view from a new angle. Some are the view from the character's point of view, and some are even to contribute a sense of power to whoever is being viewed from that angle. In the Postman Rings Twice video, there are 2 things I want you to pay attention to: the movement of the car and the placement of the people in the car.
No, Carter. You keep straight on.
Well, I've always wanted to see Malibu Lake, and it's only a few miles to the other road.
Okay.
In the very beginning of the scene, the car is moving from left to right, signifying positivity and happiness. Then we move to inside the car. Once the scene moves here, everyone is happy, but soon their attitudes change. Cora and Frank, who are unhappy and want to be together, but are being kept apart because of Nick, think he is the problem. At this point in the movie, the viewer wants them to be together too. Therefore, Nick is the antagonist, the negative, and so he is on the left, whereas Cora and Frank are on the right of him. The third thing I want to point out is back outside the car again. Right after Cora lies to Nick and Frank fakes being drunk, the car turns towards the left and heads in that direction. This movement brings along a feeling of negativity with it. And that ends my reflection and review on How to Read a Movie, the 4 filmmaking videos, and The Postman Always Rings Twice.